I didn't have my Verizon broadband card yet, but I knew that I needed to send emails out to my family, and I knew that I had the foreign students who needed to contact their embassy. So this is where that acting class came back in after I put their water. And I have to tell you, after being in those pants for 6 days, that did not feel really bad. It didn't feel bad at all. So I get back to the hotel, and then I'm very polite, and I knock on the front desk. I get no response, so then I got a chair and jumped over the front desk to plug my computer in. And all of a sudden, I was swarmed with people. And then I pulled out my acting class, and I said, "Hi, how are you? I just wanted some electricity for my computer. Is that okay?" "No, ma'am." Remember, I said, "Oh, but, it's necessary, and you're not going to move it." "How's your day been? I know you've had a really tough day." So I'm now improvising something to try to bring her down until someone else comes out to break up this so-called fight and to give me what I need. We get the computer plugged in, turn it around, put it on the desk. It was in use for about 8 hours with people actually trying to contact there, because the internet, the wireless in the hotel was working. And that was a gift. Okay. You bored yet?
Not yet.
What were my successes? Being able to be here and talk to you about it. Pulling off getting 10 computers, meeting some people from Morehouse College and pulling the zoo off. The zoo is something I will always be proud of. And that was a project that I was delivered to my desk 4 weeks before it happened. 4 weeks. It took me 8 weeks to recover. And we're going to do another one. And there are actually going to be some other events that will help us. Well, you know how I overcame the challenge. I grit my teeth, prayed to the goddess, and she came down and helped me. Challenges we're facing. Evacuation care for the diaspora is truly one of the problems. People having their health information available to them. And I'm telling you, that is very critical. And now I'm going to show you a surprise. When I told you that you should take advantage of those things which are always available to you, why are you not going away? I know why. Bill Gates is not a millionaire for no reason. And whoever the guy was who did the web thing, boy, what a cool guy that guy is. What I want to show you is a program called Vizio. Does anybody use Vizio? I'm doing this so I can get rid of these. Cancel. That's probably it. Oh, nothing here. Anybody ever use Vizio? Vizio is a wonderful document because it makes little Word documents, and it puts them in a file that can allow you to draw pictures. I'm trying to get rid of my toolbar, pardon me. But this is as you can see, this is a piece of graph paper, and this has shape files, shape sets, and the shape sets actually help you create what you want. I like these. And this is what you do. Okay? Boom. That's it. Boom. You can type stuff in it. Change the color. That's all that stuff is. Okay? And you click on it, you delete it, it's gone. Should be gone. Okay? Now this very complicated diagram is actually the work process for the zoo. I'll get rid of this because you got this idea. And in one document, rather than having a whole lot of verbiage, I've really got something better than bullet points because I have directionality. And I also have space to design certain relationships and to show where they're overarching relationships. The goal at the zoo was really to take care of people and also to experiment with the portable health record. And right now we have 4,690 some odd portable health records. Those portable health records are in a combination of a database, which is a tree-based database, so it has to be manually manipulated in order to get it into an Access database or an Excel file, and TIFF files or JPEG images. And that is because we could not get the RAM people to get out of paper and start to use tablet PCs. But the idea here is to develop a disk, a thumb drive, or a piece of paper that we can hand you, that you can put in your pocket, because the likelihood that you will lose your keys is fairly low. The likelihood that you lose a CD-ROM that goes in a wallet is fairly low. The likelihood that a piece of paper that you fold up and put in your wallet is fairly low. It's a much greater likelihood that you'll lose your luggage. You'll lose whatever bag you're trying to carry. That's a much greater likelihood. And the media that we're using are not just things that you can attach to keychains. We're looking at a media that'll be a bracelet, like an arm bracelet for patients who are nursing home patients. There's also technology that actually has barcodes that then access this information off of a web server. This is a web application. So what does that say about your computer? It has no geography. It's completely accessible. That may mean, that meant, when that truly hit me, that meant that somebody who was from New Orleans, who was in Canada, could not only access their own information, but they could also insert new information, or have your doctor insert new information. This is an evolving program that will connect up with electronic medical records and electronic health records. But it's closer to a electronic health record kind of idea because it's a summary piece of information. The story that goes behind my attachment to the success of this program has to do with sitting next to a guy who, at Reunion Arena in the medical van, so I could get my thyroxine that I hadn't had for I don't know how many days. That's amazing. Hypothyroidism means you're supposed to get fat. I lost 17 pounds. You think it could have anything to do with the fact we walked all over the place? So I'm sitting next to this guy and we're chit-chatting. You know how people chit-chat, and we, chit-chat and HIPAA don't seem to have a problem with each other. And he says, oh yeah, well I got rescued and I walked through the water, and I got picked up at the convention center. And I said, oh, so you're here to be taken care of. He says, yeah, I have diabetes and a kidney transplant. And I literally did this. I did. Did you bring your medicine? And he said, no, I'm hoping I can get it here. And I go, okay. So, of course, in a mobile unit, it's kind of difficult to maintain HIPAA, so the nurse is doing the nursing assistant's doing her thing, and the name of the drug is P1569, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Do you know what company that came from? Oh, no, but the records at Tulane, they'll be able to tell you. And I said, nobody's there, and they're wet, even if somebody's there. And so I said to myself, I said, yeah, there are people who have special needs who need that, but there are people who have the normal regular diseases, the normal chronic diseases, which we all sort of talk about and have a nice graph and statistics for, but who really, when their hemoglobin A1C goes out of control, their risk of going in the hospital, we know, is much, much, much higher. And I will confide in you that we have lost a member of the health department, one from suicide, 2 members. One from suicide and another one from listeriosis. Okay? Those of you who don't know what listeriosis is, it's a relatively benign bacterium, except for people who are significantly immunocompromised. And this was a lady who had diabetes. It turned out she had an adrenal tumor also, so she was just metabolically kind of messed up. And you're supposed to see listeriosis 0 times in your medical career. The fact that she worked in the health department, she got evacuated, she lives wherever she lived, makes her an example of the kinds of cases that we need to keep our eye out for. Because she went to the emergency room with a headache. and was sent home before somebody did a spinal tap. And so when you talk about emergency rooms needing to have good access, blah, 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 and hospital beds needing to have blah, 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 being available, then I would like to go back to what I would like to say is the number one primary thing that one needs to worry about in a disaster, and that is, have you had your shots yet? Are you at your ideal weight? Are you at your normal hemoglobin A1C? Can you run without? Can you climb a certain number of stairs? Because I had a 500-pound woman I couldn't get rid of if I paid them $500 to put her on a helicopter. They kept saying the helicopter can't handle the weight. Already got too many people on it. 500-pound woman with a trach, asthma, in a Superdome for 6 days. Taking her treatments, but it's like